So in that clarity of awareness, then you can then begin to open up your mind to those things that you wish to manifest. And from that point of view, you can also you won't have that attachment to the manifestation or the outcome of it. So therefore, there will be no anxiety or emotion attached to it. So you can let it be what it is without disturbing it, perturbing it in some way, distorting it in some way, which is often what we do when we are clumsily trying to manifest something. We often distort it unknowingly, unconsciously. So it's important to become conscious of yourself, and then in that state you're also what we can term meditative. We're calm, relaxed, alert, attentive, and therefore when we think of something we can think of it and lessen the attachment to it, and then create the clarity around it, what it is, and knowing that as we think of it in that state, that when it eventually arises in the reality, that we will also be able to experience it in the same way. Like, we will appreciate it, but we won't have this attachment to it, and we can enjoy it, but we won't have that once again, that attachment, because it's really in that attachment is where the suffering comes into it. The mind clings to it, and therefore it fears the loss of it, and then those emotions attached to it, they also arise. So that is really I would say, is a very useful and way of manifesting something in your life in a successful way, in a practical, simple way as well. So it's as I speak of it, I'm sure I say it and it sounds quite simple and easy to do, but of course everyone, and we're all at different stages of our awareness, conscious awareness, and it can also be very difficult indeed to think of certain things that way, especially if you've grown up in a life where certain things that you wished for you may have not had in your life, and it may have been difficult and to experience those things, and therefore you have a lot of baggage and thought constructs around what it is that you seek to manifest, and it makes it therefore a lot more difficult to do it. And that's why sometimes that's why it's so important to really observe your mind also, so you really can begin to understand why it is that certain things manifest in certain ways, and also to look at manifestation as not something that is simply utilized as a tool, but it's an ongoing thing. We're constantly in the wheel of samsara, as the Buddhists say. We're constantly creating our own karma in a cyclic fashion, meaning that we never quite get off that wheel until and when we can begin to become more self-conscious and to stand really at the center of the wheel and to observe it, to observe our experiences, to observe our thoughts, and to observe our experiences. And this is all part and parcel of awakening, what we term is the spiritual awakening of human being, or realizing the beingness of the human being, or becoming more self-aware and no longer caught up in the dream, the unconscious dreaming of reality and the unconscious dream of that wheel of samsara, that cycle. So once we are able to observe, then we can also begin to understand ourselves and our nature and the way that things happen to us, the way that karma works, in the way that things come back to us as we project out there through our emotions, our actions, our deeds, our thoughts, our intent. All of these are projections into the world of form, and they manifest and come back to us. So it's constantly happening. Manifestation is a constant, as opposed to something that is selectively done, but it is a constant wheel of life, an experience of life. So I'll conclude there, and I'm also happy to discuss anything that if anyone has listened to this and finds it particularly interesting, or the topic interesting, and wishes to delve a little bit deeper or have some questions that they seek answers to, I'd be very happy to also discuss them and be open with sharing these concepts and ideas with others.